Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining the BeakPix Executive Speaking Circle information session. I am just going to give a couple of more minutes to individuals who might want to join this informational session, and I will begin giving a brief introduction and go through commonly asked questions. Um, just so um, if people are unable to join, they'll be able to view this session that was reserved for them. So thank you very much for waiting. All right, let's begin. Again, good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Hatice Guroğlu. I'm the founder and director of BeakPix Educational Consulting. First of all, thank you for taking the time to join me this evening. I truly appreciate it, especially on a Sunday evening. I know everyone has busy schedules, so I truly appreciate you being here. If you're not here, I truly appreciate you viewing this video later whenever you have time. Tonight is not a lesson, it's simply an opportunity for us to get to know one another. My goal is to introduce you to the Executive English Speaking Circle, explain how the sessions work, answer any questions you may have, and help you decide whether this program is the right fit for your English learning journey. A little about me. Before founding BeakPix, I spent more than 20 years working in international corporate environments in the US, specifically in the state of Washington. And as most of people globally know, Washington state is home to a lot of corporations like Microsoft, T-Mobile, Boeing, and many upcoming and new startups, especially in the age of AI. And given that I worked at Microsoft and T-Mobile, and leading many projects, facilitating meetings, collaborating with global teams, and communicating with professionals from many different countries. My position has been always global operations throughout my career, and I realized something that was truly very important. And many talented professionals have excellent ideas and strong technical knowledge and backgrounds, whether it's being finance, business, sales, supply chain management, and whatnot, but they often hesitate to speak because they lack confidence in their English. So over the past 7 years, I've been helping English learners build that confidence, not by memorizing grammar rules, of course, but by encouraging meaningful conversations in a very supportive environment. And mainly these conversations have always been one-to-one. And with my company, I believe that having a prototype, a replica of a small group discussion where there are professionals from different backgrounds, maximum 4 to 5 people, would actually help these individuals build that confidence. And if it's realistic in nature and if it's relevant to today, it would be even more meaningful, because at the end of the day, English is meant to be spoken, not just studied. So here comes a big question. Again, I touched on it a little bit, why I created this program. One of the biggest challenges English learners face isn't understanding English. It's actually finding opportunities to use it. Many people spend years studying grammar and vocabulary, but rarely have the chance to practice speaking in a relaxed, encouraging environment. And that's exactly why I created the Executive English Speaking Circle. So this circle isn't about being perfect. It's about becoming more confident every time you speak. And what makes this different? This is not a traditional English class. You won't spend an hour listening to me lecture. Instead, I will be guiding the conversation. I'll introduce interesting discussion topics. I'll encourage everyone to participate. I'll provide useful vocabulary, expressions, and communication tips naturally throughout our discussions in the course of the discussion. And most importantly, everyone will have an opportunity to speak because confidence comes from doing, not from watching. And here's my promise to you. One thing I'd like everyone to remember tonight is this. This is a safe place to learn. No one will ever be judged for making mistakes. In fact, I encourage mistakes. I make mistakes. So, because every mistake is simply another step toward becoming a more confident English speaker. Here we celebrate progress, not perfection. And in tonight's agenda, this evening, we'll spend about an hour or less together, and I'll briefly explain what the Executive English Speaking Circle is, how each session is structured, who the program is designed for, what you can expect as a participant, and how you'll benefit from joining. After that, I'd love to answer your questions if you're wondering something. Chances are someone else is wondering the same thing. So please feel free to ask. Sorry about that. My meeting kicked me off of my discussion just as I was going into the details of the Executive English Speaking Circle, but it's okay. We're here, we're alive. So I was saying, I'd love to answer your questions. If you're wondering something, chances are someone else is wondering the same thing. So please feel free to ask either online or via email or WhatsApp. All of my information is available on my website, BeakPix.com. So let's just dive into what makes the Executive English Conversation Circle different from other English courses, because this is not a course. This is a place where we will have intellectually stimulating discussions based on topics and readings that I will be providing before we have our sessions, our circles formed. So this isn't a traditional grammar class or lecture, like I've mentioned in the beginning. It's an interactive discussion where English is learned through meaningful conversation. Each week, we will be exploring a different topic, share ideas, ask questions, and learn from one another in a supportive environment. My role is to guide the discussion, introduce useful vocabulary and expressions, and ensure everyone has an opportunity to participate and share their ideas. And who is this program designed for? The Executive Conversation Circle is ideal for adults, university students, and professionals who already have a basic understanding of English but want to become more confident speaking. Whether you're preparing for international business, interviews, travel, or simply want to speak more fluently, you'll benefit from regular conversation practice. We will be meeting up twice a week. So, here's another commonly, frequently asked question. I'm nervous about speaking English. What if I make mistakes? Making mistakes is one of the most important parts of learning. This is a judgment-free environment where everyone is encouraged to participate. We focus on communication first. not perfection. As your confidence grows, your accuracy will naturally improve. And here's another commonly, frequently asked question. Will you correct our mistakes during the discussion? Yes, however, it will be thoughtfully corrected. I don't interrupt people at all while they're expressing their ideas. Don't expect me to correct you. So please do not stop in the middle of your sentence. Just complete it. If I see something that's very important, I will say so at the end. I will make notes and provide constructive feedback after you've finished speaking. This allows everyone to maintain confidence while still learning from their own mistakes. And what topics will we discuss? There will be many, many topics. Every session will be focusing on a different topic designed to encourage natural conversation. These topics may include business, technology, medicine, travel, leadership, current events, culture, communication, problem solving, and everyday situations. The goal is to practice real English that you can immediately use. And this is always something that even native speakers are kind of afraid of or shies away from. What if I don't know enough vocabulary? Well, that's completely normal. I'll introduce useful vocabulary that we will be using during that session, before and during each discussion. Explain unfamiliar expressions if need be, and encourage participants to use new words naturally. Over time, you'll notice your vocabulary growing without memorizing long word lists. And how much speaking time will each participant have? Initially, through the month of August, these sessions are going to be 45 minutes. They're introductory sessions just for people to join, no commitment required. You know, they can join Tuesday of this week and join Thursday of the following week. So I'm keeping them short sessions during the summer. Hence the reason we will have very limited, of course, discussion time. So I anticipate that everyone will at least have 10 minutes of speaking time during this 45-minute session during the summer. But come fall and winter and spring, these sessions will be 60 to 90 minutes long, which means you might, for people in my circle, will have more opportunities to speak during these sessions. And always asked, I always get interviewed by my clients and even my little young students. They ask, so what experience do you have teaching English? And I always say, I am not a teacher. We all are teachers in our own little world, in our own little ways. I spent more than 7 years helping professionals, assisting professionals improve their English communication skills through the BeakPix educational consulting and other platforms. And before founding BeakPix, I worked for over 20 years in international corporate environments, including Microsoft and T-Mobile, where effective communication, leadership, and collaboration were essential every single day. I believe that experience allows me and has proven to me to prove success over the past 7 years to combine practical business communication with language learning. And another question that will be coming up in the near future is, why did I create this conversation circle? I noticed that many English learners understand grammar very well, but very rarely have opportunities to actually speak, even in a professional setting. They just don't want to, or they're not given that opportunity. It could be many, many, many reasons. And Confidence only develops through regular practice in anything that you take on. I created this conversation circle to provide a supportive community where people can practice speaking consistently, exchange ideas, and become more comfortable expressing themselves in English. And what can participants expect after joining? Well, participants can expect a welcoming community, engaging weekly discussions, practical vocabulary, increased speaking confidence, and ongoing opportunities to practice English in a relaxed environment. The more consistently you participate, the more comfortable and fluent you'll become. And making mistakes will not be what's going to take over your thoughts. You'll be just waiting for the next session to speak. So, there are a couple more questions that I thought that would be asked. So, I'm going to just go through them quite briefly and quickly. Can I join from outside Turkey? Absolutely. My office is based in Istanbul, Turkey, and you are more than welcome to join. It's open globally wherever there's internet access. We only meet twice a week for 45 minutes during the month of August. And the sessions will be extended, of course, to 60 to 90 minutes. If the time zone allows, the meetings are going to be basically going to be at evening in the evening, either at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Winter can be a little tiring for most individuals, so I'm still working out on the details on the hours, but 8 p.m. seems like a good hour for everybody, especially during the winter time. And how much does the program cost? Well, this is a no commitment, drop in style, pay as you go type of model. I don't want anybody tied to a contract. So if you're available this week and want to drop in 2 weeks later, I want to allow that freedom to individuals because it's a discussion group. And every week, people will be getting, my clients will be getting the discussions for the week. So if it's something that's interesting, they can join both discussions of that week. It's all up to them. And how many people are in each group? Maximum 4, with the moderator being me. That's 5. And what English level is required? Native speakers, speakers who are advanced, intermediate. That's my minimum requirement if you are a non-native speaker, because at the intermediate level, that's the expectation that we want individuals to start speaking. So as far as non-native English level speaking goes, it's intermediate and above, but it's open to everybody. And will I receive feedback on my progress? Well, this is something that I truly have debated on. Everybody has their own measurement of what progress is for them. So I have created a matrix where everyone will be tracking their own progress. I will not be tracking anybody's progress because everybody that's joining this session are adults and I'm not grading anybody. So if you would like to use the matrix that I provide in the beginning, you're more than welcome to do so based on what kind of goals you have. And there's also a section where you can add your other goals that I may have not included. And once those goals are attained, check mark to you, not from me, from you. And last but not least, do you offer one-to-one coaching in addition to the group sessions? Absolutely. All these years, I have been mainly concentrating on one-to-one coaching, especially at the executive level, even though I did have classrooms that I have taught physically. But for the past several years, it has been mainly one-to-one coaching. And this year, I'm transitioning into the executive speaking English circle. So we're actually having real time conversations in a group, which I believe would be extremely beneficial. So that's it for me as far as the Q&A informational session of the conversation circle. And please, again, as I stated, if you do have any questions that I did not cover, please do send me an email at hello@beakpix.com, or you're more than welcome to message me via WhatsApp at my phone number. That's my business line, and I do get back to messages in less than 24 hours. Thank you again for joining or listening in to the recording, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in one of the upcoming sessions.